Hello and welcome to Martin Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here for the morning forecast. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got a very important one today. We've got the countdown is on for the XRP ETF. We've got EVTOL stocks moving fast. We've got a week full of data, CPI data, robo taxis coming online this week. We've got trade deals being made today. A massive week for everyone. So if you have tuned in, whether you're live or watching later, please hit the like button and get ready for an important show and week on the channel. We are doing the morning forecast show. We do it every single morning, trading morning at this time. This is where we look and see, is it going to be a thundery day in the markets? Is it going to be one of those red days? Or is it going to be one of those calm days where we see sideways action, possibilities of some things going up, some things going down? Or is it going to be the days that we love where we're all making monies, all-time highs everywhere, and finally seeing maybe an altcoin season occur and XRP start moving to the upside again before they take it away from us once again. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. It is a sunny / rainy morning outside. If you want the forecast of where I am in the UK, let me know what the weather's like where you are. But let's get into the main chart / story we want to bring to you today, which is the XRP news, the 17th of June deadline coming up very, very fast. So let's get into that top story. Where do we get our stories from? We get it from our very own newsletter, Sensei Insights. You get this every morning along with the show, the Sensei Morning Forecast. And today we are looking at the XRP story. So we will get onto that. The first thing we'll look at is that story, and then we'll get into some big news coming up this week. So the XRP story. A couple things. I'm going to read this first because it's not just the XRP ETF. There's a couple things going on. So investor momentum around the US listed XRP spot ETF is accelerating fast. If you look at the betting markets, they're going up as well, the chance of approval. Anyway, but at this time, it's grounded in more than just speculation. We don't like to just give out random numbers, random facts, say XRP is going to $589 for some random reason. We want to bring you the facts, the real news, and this is it. So the SEC has recently approved the NASDAQ Crypto US Settlement Price Index, NCISU, and that has put XRP into the same regulatory grade as price benchmark as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Big news. One of the reasons XRP popped yesterday, but it is now part of that NCISU. So I'll explain to you what that is, but that inclusion is no small feat. It signals XRP now meets the institutional standard for US crypto financial products. It is in the same category as Bitcoin now. So I'll explain to you what that is. The NCISU is a closing price benchmark calculated by NASDAQ, and it now covers 6 tokens: Bitcoin, Ethereum, which it used to do, now XRP, Solana, ADA, XLM. What does that remind you of? The crypto strategic reserve, some US technologies being added to that benchmark by NASDAQ. The expansion approved in early June validates these assets for ETF design and derivatives pricing, effectively laying the groundwork for compliant altcoin products in the US markets. It's another signal that says these cryptos here, they're here to stay. We approve them, we like them, the regulatory clarities around them, and you've now got Solana, AD, and XLM, a few other tokens that I like, that I think are at the top of the pile of crypto, the ones that you can call them the Mag 7 of the crypto, the Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Solana, ADA, XLM, and I have spoken highly about all of them. Solana to me is a bit more overvalued, then that's why I'm not buying it. ADA is undervalued. XLM moves in tandem with XRP, great technology, undervalued. Ethereum doesn't excite me as much as XRP, but has its place. Not one of my favorite investments. Bitcoin is that digital gold we talk about. So for me, all those cryptocurrencies are the Mag 7 of the crypto world, if you want to call it that. So it is a big news. This NCISU, don't worry about the technicals. It's basically, it shows you, it's the way Nasdaq looks at it and says this is the price that these coins are at. Now only the coins that only had that before, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now it's putting XRP into that category as well. So it's just a sign of regulatory clarity. It shows that that they see XRP as a great technology, and it has got the legal backing to put it into this exclusive club. So the spot ETF filings are already in play. Franklin Templeton's application hits an SEC milestone of June the 17th, while Wisdom Tree's XRP Trust is in active review. These proposals follow the same regulatory pathway Bitcoin ETFs took: futures first, then spot. We've seen the futures and XRP, now we're looking for spot. Notably, Volatility Shares launched its first XRP futures ETF in May, and CME added XRP's futures shortly after, echoing the Bitcoin Ethereum roadmap, the way they did it. So people are saying XRP is not moving, they're getting bored, whatever. I'm here for it. Just a month ago, we got the futures approved, multiple futures. We got Brazilian spot approved. I think the US spot ETF is just around the corner. And I've always said this, just like Brad has said, I don't make up these figures or these numbers myself. Second half of 2025 is what Brad Garlinghouse says, and I echo him. Why would I not? He knows the most, and he said the second half. What are we now? We're in June. We're in the second half of 2025, and this is when it's going to start speeding up. So get ready. So still, the elephant in the room is the ongoing. Remember, this is just going on and it's getting annoying and we're getting frustrated, but it's at the tail end. So the elephant in the room is the ongoing Ripple and SEC case. Without legal clarity, ETF approval remains uncertain. A favourable court ruling or settlement is seen as a prerequisite for the SEC to give the green light. So we might have to wait for this. We might not. We don't know. It is in a beautiful situation anyway. It's XRP is not a security. That's the law of the land. The SEC and Ripple both want to end the case, so there's not really any going back. They've agreed to a reduced settlement of 50 million. It is now just procedural stuff that they have to put in. Judge Torres has to rule it off, finish it, get it done, do it the proper way, not the fast track way they tried to do before and annoy the judge. They just need to do it the proper way, and that's, to me, that's a done deal. That's something that's going to happen soon. Whether it happens before the ETF or after, it doesn't really matter, because I am expecting that to happen maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe before we get this deadline. Again, in my opinion, that case will fully come to a close in the next few weeks. So institutional interest is also building. Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, 21 Shares and Bitwise are already in. And while BlackRock hasn't officially filed, rumours have driven prediction markets to price XRP ETF approval odds at 83%. And I think that's actually gone up again today. So XRP's addition to NCISU isn't just a footnote, it's a signal flare. Institutions now have the infrastructure they need, but without a court win, the SEC still holds its veto power. Keep your eye on June the 17th and developments in the Ripple case, which I think is coming soon. Now, main story, the 17th of June. So let me explain this to you. The SEC is staring down a June the 17th, 2025 deadline to decide on Franklin Templeton's proposed spot XRP ETF. And while the crypto market is buzzing, the date stems from a standard regulatory protocol, not an early sign of approval or rejection. So let's go through the backstory. Franklin Templeton filed its XRP ETF application on March the 13th, and it was formally entered into the Federal Register on March the 19th, starting the SEC regulatory review clock. Initially, the SEC has 45 days, so that was until around May the 3rd, to respond, as it often does with complex crypto ETFs. It exercised its authority to delay, citing the need for a deeper review. That deadline brings us up to the 17th of June, the revised deadline. This isn't unusual. Bitcoin and ETFs saw multiple delays before their eventual approval. So we had that initial 45 days. The SEC delayed it It's a normal procedure. They've done it many times before, but they delayed it to this new deadline, June the 17th. Is this new SEC, this pro-crypto SEC, the new administration's SEC, more likely to not keep kicking the can down the road and approve it on June the 17th? I think we might have a shot at June the 17th being an approval. Again, that doesn't mean that the spot ETF launches tomorrow, that on June the 17th. It means it gets approved, then it goes through the next hoops, and then it gets, I don't know, approved a couple weeks later on the markets. So I'm not going to come out and say 100% it's going to get approved. We've seen it's been delayed before. Are we in a better situation today than we were a year ago if we had the same um, sort of deadline with the previous SEC? We're definitely in a situation 50 times better. So the likelihood of it being approved is much more than if it was in the last administration SEC. So I'm in two minds. One is this is complicated stuff. They want to take their time. It's still the SEC. They still need to do their due diligence. It's still going to be a major effect on the market, and they want to get it right. So maybe they will delay it slightly longer, and we just get it towards a few months down the line, or a couple months down the line, or they get it approved. And I want to be prepared for both scenarios. That's why I'm invested in XRP. That's why my leverage positions aren't in any danger of being liquidated. In fact, they're closed, as I brought to you on the show a couple weeks ago. So in case it doesn't go through and the market panics and we get a liquidation wick, I'm fine. I still have my long-term holdings for when it does get approved, because in my mind, this ETF is going to get approved in the second half of this year, whether it's June the 17th or later down the line. But June the 17th is an important day to keep in your calendars, because there is a good chance, or a chance, there is a significant chance, it's not a negligible chance, it's not like a 1%, 5% chance, there is a 30%, in my opinion, plus chance that this date results in an ETF being approved. And if it's not this date, I also agree with the betting markets, even though I don't do betting, that there is a 90% chance of an ETF being approved this year. So the SEC options are clear: deny or delay. Again, sorry, approve, deny, or delay. Are they going to deny it? I don't think so. Are they going to approve it? Maybe. Are they going to delay it? Maybe. Are they going to deny it? No. So though delays are a functional process, not bias, whether or not it clears this XRP ETF, the broader trend showing increase in SEC engagement with crypto assets is just beyond just Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I've got a poll, and we've got one vote already. Will the XRP ETF be approved this week in the US? So we will find out. And I shouldn't have said this week; it's next week. So I apologize. I'll amend that poll. You know what I mean? I should just put the June the 17th. I'll edit that after, but there is your poll. So that is the XRP news. The XRP's price, as I've said, if we go on to, I don't know, the 4-hour, the 8-hour, the 12-hour, what we've been looking at is this down. Oh, yes, the daily. Sorry. A downwards trending line that has been breached. Remember, we said if this gets breached, we'll have a shot at $2.30. Then it's decision time. Do we break above $2.30 and go to $2.62, or do we retrace? As I came out yesterday and said, this is not a time I would be buying. In my specific scenario situation, I've already got my XRP. This is a high risk area for a trade, because $2.30. You have to remember, it is resistance. Yes, it's decision time. Do you get back above it, and then you can go to $2.62? But in the meantime, $2.30 is resistance, and all my trade was, or my idea was, when you break this downwards trending, there is a downwards trend, and that is when it broke $2.30, I came out and said, be prepared for $2, or follow the trend towards the downside. I said the trend will go towards the downside, attracted to $2, until this downwards moving trend is broken towards the upside. And a couple of days ago, on the news of that NASDAQ edition, you saw XRP break out of the trend. So that is the trade there on breakout to $2.30. And I said $2.30 is decision time. Will I be buying at $2.30? No. If it breaks out above and it comes back down to $2.30, maybe that's an entry price. But right now, $2.30 is resistance until we get back above it, switch it into support, and start heading higher. So that is what's going on with XRP. $2.30, resistance again, get back above it, so you can continue higher. You fail to break it, then again, maybe you can start trending back down to $2. But I think we're in a position of strength right now because the trend has the supply line has broken. The trend seems to be changing. It looks like we've got that bottom in. So time to break $2.30 on the XRP chart. If ETF gets approved, get ready for all-time highs on that as well as a possibility. Let's go into the comments. We've got a few top story. Oh, I've got the wrong thing up. That is from our um, our our course that we're doing on Discord Premium. That's next week's episode. Let me go into the right thing. There we go. Yeah, on that news, we did. We're putting out a new video today on the technical analysis course. Everything I know about charts, everything you need to know about charts, so you can look at the way I look at charts, you can look at charts and make more informed decisions. And I'll give you the link to that. That is basically, I mean, it is free. It was basically an additional perk for all Discord premium users at a couple dollars a month. And you get the weekly course videos, and that is the link in the chat right now. If you want the newsletter, what I've just got the XRP ETF news from, there is the link for that. There is multiple options for you guys to sign up. There is a lot more news we want to go through today. We've got a lot on this week. If I just show you some of the things coming up, we've got the China news, we've got the US China news, we've got the POW news, the CPI data this week, we've got the global trade issues with China. We've got the top gainers, we've got all the EVTOL stocks moving, so a lot to get through today. So let me have a look at your comments. Welcome everyone in. Just make sure you hit the like button and you have subscribed if you're watching now. Who was here first? We've got Moon here. We've got Mike. Hello, Mike. If the XRP drops this week, oh my god! If the ETF drops this week, oh my goodness, that would be great. When you least expect it, when everyone starts giving up on XRP, is probably when it will drop. Motto team 16th and 17th for our ETF and course deadline. Is it the course deadline? The court case deadline as well? I'll have to look into that because that could be one hell of a 2-day period. Can you imagine if one goes through and the other doesn't? That chart will be left in the wind. XRP to the moon, indeed, to do. ZBCN seems to be starting to consolidate. Yes, we need to get it to see it get back above resistance, though. We'll look at the ZBCN chart in a second. My portfolio is at all-time high, says GODB. Congratulations to you. I just need to hit $3 this year and I'll be all set. Good luck to you. Oh, I can't. Oh, it auto-corrected. Right, that's strange. Someone's messing around with you. Someone's gone into your settings and changed XRP to that. Newsletter is posted. Thank you, Monterey team. Keeping up to date with the newsletter. I thank you for your support. The consensus is June the 17th. I appreciate Lucas's opinion. It's usually pretty balanced. Yes, it is. Archer is up this morning. Yes, the EVTOL stocks are absolutely skyrocketing today. Martyn Lucas Investor. Martyn's in the chat saying, morning, Lucas. Good morning, Martyn. We look forward to your show and we'll be sending everyone to you in just under 40 minutes. And for the opening bell, I'm sure Martyn has a lot. There's so much going on this week, and we want to bring you the best information. The CPI data is coming in on Wednesday. We've got the Trump deal coming today, and so much more. So thank you for tuning in, Martyn. We look forward to your show shortly. Yes, we have to be optimistic, says Nick. Sleepy hi. Yes, Stacey is a bit sleepy. Should we wake Stacey up with some music? Should we wake Stacey up with some music? Let me know in the chat. Do you want us to play Phoenix? South Africa, Cape Town. It's cold. It's cold where you are, Hugh. Yeah, let me know. Where are you and what's the weather like? Thank you, Hugh, for replying to that. Hello from Australia. Derek, welcome in. Robbie C is here. Matthias is here. Have a great week. Captain Dave is here. Yolanda. Good day, everyone. Is it true that Coinbase has been buying Zebek? Coinbase Ventures is invested in Zebek. Yes, that is true. It is on our newsletter as a verified news. Crypto still enjoying the news this morning about 50 EMA. if the crypto bill passed, how can you possibly have XRP in limbo at the same time? Makes zero sense for that to happen. King Neptune, I don't know. Can you explain why it makes zero sense? I don't know where that's coming from. Thank you for your comment. GODB, I don't see him spamming. JW, you're not even a member. I don't know what you're talking about. If you want to become a member, here is the membership link. If anyone wants a chart request, you can do a $4.99 super chat and we can get you ready for this week. Let me know if you have any chart requests. You can do a super chat. Or you can buy merch. If you buy merch during the show as well, I can do you requests. Remember, go on to the Martyn Lucas shop, the official merch shop.
Matthias donated 59 Norwegian kroner through a super chat. Phoenix emoji, Phoenix emoji, Phoenix emoji.
Thank you, Matthias. Does everyone know what that means? We're going to put Phoenix on, and what I will need everyone to do, and we'll get back into the top stories of this week and getting ready for the day ahead straight after this. I want everyone. Matthias has even super chatted to get this done, so we have to do it. We're going to get everyone to hit the like button. 225 people watching. I need everyone to hit the like button. Once you've done hitting the like button, I need everyone to hit the like button on the comment section. Once you've done that, let me know the weather like and where you're from. Give me the degrees, preferably Celsius. Tell me if it's sunny, rainy, and tell me where you are in the world. We're going to put the music on, we're going to get the likes up, and then we're going to get into some further news. Let's do it.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
I know it's the morning, people are sleepy, but there's 224 people watching. We should be on 110 likes in seconds. Let's do it.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. They let you down, but you get up. They let you drown, but you don't stop. You show you're a phoenix.
Thank you everyone for doing that. We hit 100 likes, so thank you to you everyone who did that. A big congratulations, big celebration for that. We need a mashup of Medvin's dance to this. I love it. English. Let's see what the weather's like everywhere. Good morning from Texas. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Glad to see my bags in the green this morning. Congratulations, Logan G. Welcome into the show. Members music video says Moto 18. Yeah, that sounds like good fun. Maybe we take a break for music videos for a week or so. It was a lot of work that Martyn put in behind the scenes. What a great week we had last week. The ZBCN build up week, an amazing event on Friday. I'm glad so many of you enjoyed that. But this week, let's get back to how we do things and get into every morning show breaking news. But I'm so I don't know, proud. I don't know if that's the right word. Proud of what Martyn did last week. It was absolutely incredible. The music videos were great. I've been a bit addicted to listening to it to them. They're great songs. Promises made, promises delivered, and I'm glad so many of you enjoyed that. But members music video, maybe let's leave that for another week. We don't want to overwork Martyn. Um, that's for sure. English lad living in Netherlands. Crappy weather today, though. English lad living in Netherlands. Robbie C. What are you doing in Netherlands? Work-wise, or it's a better country? Tell me. Robbie C, how have you ended up in Netherlands? XRP ZBCN. You've got a great voice. The singing, or I don't know what you mean, Logan G. Let me know, because I definitely wasn't singing. I don't have a great voice. Thank you. That would be a birthday present for Martyn. Kentucky. Oh God, Connecticut. Is that right? Connecticut. Gloomy day, but beautiful. Whether it's rainy, sunny, it's all beautiful. We always have to appreciate the weather we have. When it's rainy, you have to think about the countries that don't get that much water. When it's sunny, when it's rainy, when it's sunny, you have to think about places that don't get enough sun. We just have to be grateful of whatever weather. So there we go. It is beautiful, Mike. Come on, guys. We are staying up late over here when daylight time is over there. You need to do the same thing in the morning when it's daytime over here. Yes. Whether it's morning or night, we stay up late. You guys have woken up early now. We all have to input no matter the time. I know what you mean, Matthias. XRP looks like it might have a good day. Yes, it does. $2.30 is the key level to break out. We need Coinbase to list ZBCN. Come on. It will take its time, but there is no reason they wouldn't at this time. I mean, there's a few reasons explored in the newsletter, but it is set up nicely for a Coinbase listing. Just got more used miners so people can buy stuff. I met a girl I was living with in. Oh, I met a girl when I was living in Tenerife, and we moved here 14 years ago. Oh, that's a beautiful story, obviously. I love it. Um, how lovely that is. Brilliant. That's lovely. Netherlands. I'm Dutch. The most beautiful country in the world. I'm thinking about going around Europe in summer. Doing some traveling. So, and it is summer now. Netherlands is somewhere I'd like to visit. Just a fan of your accent, Logan G. What can I say? Thank you. Nice and sunny in Kansas for a change. Breakfast bar. Mike, I can't. I'm so sorry. I'll set up tomorrow, but my Discord has closed on me on my desktop. Let me have a look on my computer. I won't be able to bring it up on the screen. Let's have a look at what Mike is talking about. Let's see what it is. I won't be. I don't think I can bring it up on the screen. Breakfast bar, breakfast bar, breakfast bar. Oh my gosh, Mike's got a special mug. We love it. I think Stacey's created Mike a mug. Our greatest glory. Oh, I love it. Mike will show it when I've got Discord on my computer. I love it. Nice mug. A Coinbase listing would be great. I really thought ZBCN was going to drop to 0.0033, but it's holding on okay. I bought some more yesterday. Rainy day today, holiday in Belgium, so free today. From Texas and sweating already. Yes, Martyn is also from Texas, and he tells me about the hot weather over there. And it's not. There we go. XRP is $2.30. We've looked at XRP. We want to look at a few more news stories, but in the meantime, let's look at the S&P futures. Are they still up on the day? Yes, they're up 0.13%. Let's see how high the price is right now. Well, yeah, it's about to break. Yeah, it's broken 6,000. About to break the highs from a couple of days ago. It does look like the S&P 500 US-China trade deal talks go well in London today. You can see all-time highs in the S&P 500 today. Really, I mean, that's how quick it can happen. A 2% move in a day, is that unheard of? No. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But can it happen? Quite, yeah, it can. There's a significant chance it can happen. All-time highs today on the S&P 500. That will cascade throughout all the markets and have an effect on everything. Bitcoin's already front running up 2% today. I mean, look at that 4-hour candle on Bitcoin breaking out of 106,000. Absolutely incredible. You can tell that these resistance lines are not random lines. We look at them because they are significant areas that people look at. And when you get a breakout, a significant breakout, you see volatility like this occur. As soon as you got a breakout of 106,000, you are already up about 2% on that breakout, and Bitcoin is moving higher. It looks like it's going to be a good day in the markets. Bitcoin up 2% on the morning, on the day. S&P 500 following suit. On a breakout watch, breaking levels from last week, and then all-time highs. Excuse me. So, so yeah, you've got the S&P 500 basically on breakout watch as well. In terms of you've got probably a level around $6,025 you want to get back above, and there'll be literally nothing in your way until all-time highs. So let's see if the good news comes out of the deal from US China in London today. You've got what else you've got moving? Nasdaq is probably up as well. Nasdaq is actually pretty more flat. It's more, I guess, it's not the tech sector moving up a lot today. You've got silver continuing its gains, about to make 13-year highs any second now. We're watching it unfold. Silver at 30. I need to reply to. I just remembered. I need to reply to Dallo on the premium Discord. If you haven't got the premium Discord yet, we answer all your questions there. I just remembered it is Dallo had some questions about silver and where to buy it in the UK, and I don't want him to be left behind. So I'm going to give you the link for the newsletter. If you haven't joined that already, there is the link. If you haven't got the premium Discord, you can ask us any questions anytime, and we are there to answer it. Plus, you get all the training videos as well. That's the Discord link in the chat. So yeah, silver. The reason that reminded me of it is because Dallo is a premium Discord member, and he was asking me about silver, and I want to respond to his question, so I'll do that straight after the show. Silver is at it was a late light last night, and I couldn't. It was way too late for me to answer it then, so I want to do it this morning. Silver is about to make 13-year highs, $36.37. Remember, that was one of our top deep dives last week on the newsletter. If you have the newsletter, go back, read it, understand it, know what you're investing in, understand the benefits of silver, understand what I mean by a short squeeze potential on silver, understand what I mean by an inflation hedge, understand the fundamentals behind silver, and you'll understand this move. And silver's up 1% already on the day. You've got gold also. As I said, it's time for silver to outperform gold, and what do we see going on? Gold going sideways and down, and silver going up again, playing out exactly as predicted. Again, nothing I ever say is financial advice. This is just my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not trade based on anything I say. Understand things, understand my perspective. Use your newsletter as part of your research, and then you'll become a more profitable trader. But that's not because you're copying me. That's because you're understanding some of the knowledge I have and you're applying it to your own situation. Let's go on to the crypto market. What's moving today? We've got ICP up 6%. We've got ZBCN up 4% on the new day. It is holding. Look, it's below support. Yes, it's below 0.0047. However, there is another support level around 0.0042, and you've got this higher low structure, and you're holding it for now. So ZBCN fans, yes, it's a bit annoying. You're down. We did say we're probably going to go down, but there is this underlying strength, this higher low structure on ZBCN. This sideways, this horizontal support for ZBCN, all pointing that the strength is still there underlying. There is still those buyers coming in and not letting the price fall any lower than 0.00428. And as long as this structure holds here, then I'm sure we'll get back above 0.0047, then 0.005, and then back to all-time highs as long as this structure holds. So that's what we're looking at on ZBCN, and it's up today. What else do we have moving? Bitcoin is leading the rally. We've got Ethereum slightly behind Bitcoin, trying to get back up to this major resistance range. And remember, we headed into the resistance range, and I said we're going to go sideways and down unless we break through it, and that's exactly what's been happening. That's why resistance ranges are there. That's why I look at these areas. That's why they're important levels, and that's why I want to teach you guys all about it. And that's another new video is coming out on Discord Premium today. So if you haven't got it, what a time to sign up for it. You can go back and watch the other 2 videos, and you won't fall behind. You've only got 2 other videos to catch up on, and then there'll be one today, and then you'll be right with us asking questions as we go throughout it. So never a better time to join. I've got the link for the Discord there. Remember, you click on that link, you scroll down, and you join. It's about $2.99. Make sure you do it on a web browser. It's cheaper there than your phone. And there you go. You can get access to all of the things I look at. So there we've got Ethereum battling against that resistance level. XRP already retested $2.30, and it's going to make a decision if it wants to break it or not. What's down today? Songbirds down slightly, flares down slightly, but they will come in time once the markets break to all-time highs. So let's go through the main stories. What is good? Remember, it's all about the S&P 500. It's all about the global markets. Once they move, everything else moves in tandem. They all have their weird ways of correlating with each other, and it all starts with the news. And the news for today, we've got US-China trade talks resuming in London. Let me just quickly answer some of your questions before we go into that. Remember, stay with us in about 15 minutes time. We'll be sending you over to Martyn. So we'll be getting a link shortly from Martyn, and then we'll be going into the opening bell show with Martyn, and we'll get some more news on all of this. I was also talking about silver. Are we still set on a squeeze possibility? There is always a squeeze possibility. Even if that doesn't happen, there is underlying growth in silver, in my opinion. But there is squeeze possibility. Yes. Is it a high percentage chance? Probably not. But is there a chance? Maybe a 10-20% chance? Yes. Silver is the Achilles heel of the central banks. More TV screens and keyboards, silver goes up. Silver is it's partly a byproduct of gold mining. Yes, you don't really go out looking to mine silver. It's not a profitable endeavor. It was fun for silver in 0613. Glad people got a little pump. Sensei is spamming security. GeoDB, you're just trying to keep your #1 status. I love it. GeoDB is #1 on the leaderboard today. I like candlesticks, says Brian Bynum. I like candlesticks too, and you're going to learn all about candlesticks today again. And then we move on to the next lesson next week. Okay, so just wanted to make sure I'm all caught up with the news, with the comments. So high-level delegations from US, United States, and China are meeting in London today to address the ongoing trade conflict, and that has disrupted global markets. The talks follow a federal truce brokered in Geneva last month, where both sides agreed to temporarily reduced tariffs and negotiate further. However, tensions have since resurfaced, with countries accusing each other of violating the agreement, especially over the export of critical rare earth minerals vital to technologies and manufacturing. The US team, led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and Trade Representative Jameson Gear, is meeting with Chinese Vice Premier at an undisclosed London venue. The discussions are expected to focus on restoring trade in rare earths and resolving disputes over tariffs and export controls. Global investors are closely watching the outcome, as the trade war has already caused significant slowdowns in both economies and rattled supply chains worldwide. The current 90-day pause on US-China tariffs, which began on May the 14th, 2025, is set to expire on August the 12th. If no further agreement is reached or the pause is not extended, tariffs could be reverted to their previous higher levels after this date. So we will get news coming out of this later today. It will look. We're not at that final deadline, August 12th, so it could be bad news potentially, because they could say, oh, well, the negotiations aren't going well, and that would have a bad effect on the markets. However, I don't think either of those countries have anything to benefit by saying that. So We will see what happens, but this is an event to keep an eye on, and it's happening today. So get ready for some volatility, and we'll be covering it all live on the show today. It's definitely a good sign to see that they're negotiating before it comes to the end of the deadline as well. Um, so Trump slams too late. Powell signals Fed chair decision coming soon. More volatility, more things coming out. President Trump intensified his criticism of Fed Chair Jerome Powell, branding him too late for holding rates steady and urging an aggressive full-point rate cut, even as May jobs report beat expectations. Trump claims Powell's inaction is costing the country a fortune and argues that the lower rates would be rocket fuel for growth, especially as Europe cuts rates and US inflation cools. With Trump promising to announce his pick for the Fed chair very soon, investors should brace for potential shifts in Fed policy and market volatility as leadership uncertainty collides with political pressure on rates. More volatility. Who's going to be the new Fed chair? What is their policy stance going to be? Uh, how bad can this conflict get between Trump and Jerome about Trump saying he needs to cut, and Fed Jerome is just sticking to the data and doing what he thinks is best. This causes volatility. This causes uncertainty, and we will get some more information on this very soon, especially with CPI coming out as well. So markets eye CPI data and Fed meeting, 2 rate cuts still priced in, but key data looms. Markets are currently pricing in 2 rate cuts from the Federal Reserve by year end, and that is the whole of the year. There has been no rate cuts this year, with futures implying the Fed funds rates could fall to the 3.75 to the 4% range. There has been 0 Federal Reserve rates cuts so far in 2025. However, all eyes are on this Wednesday's US CPI inflation report, which will be pivotal for shaping expectations ahead of the Fed's next policy meeting on June the 18th. Next week, big week again, because we're going to have the policy meeting, and it's going to be one of the more important ones because we're at a sort of a pivotal moment where they haven't cut rates for a while, and they will give us a good inkling of what's going to occur. Again, very strong chance they will not cut rates next week. Fed officials have signaled a cautious stance, and the consensus is no more rate change next week, but softer inflation data could tip the balance towards a rate cut in early as June or September. The most likely scenario, and the Fed holds a rate steady in June, waits for more evidence of cooling inflation, and potentially starts cutting rates in September. Oh.
God donated $5 through a super chat. Sensei, when you finish the news, please take a look at CRCL. Is it similar to coin? Will it drop back below 100 before taking off again?
Circle, we will look at it. Thank you, GDB. We'll look at it straight after this story. Thank you. So that's me. That's what I'm saying. The most likely scenario: the Fed holds steady in June, waits for more evidence of cooling inflation, and then starts cutting in September. That is what I think. That is sort of what the market's pricing in as well. So keep that in mind. If you're going to take a sentence away, that is probably what's going to happen. Fed holds everything in June, July, August, and then in September they will start with another rate cut. So why it matters: retail investors should watch out for volatility around CPI release and Fed meeting, and surprises quickly shift rate cut expectations and move stock, bonds, and mortgage rates. So here you go. You got your rate possibilities for the June the 18th next week on the thing. 99.9% chance of it staying unchanged. There's a lot more stories in the newsletter. Go and read about SpaceX. Go and read about the global growth. Chinese exports absolutely tanking. I mean, the one big figure of today was 103.2 billion. That's China's trade surplus for May. It's the widest in over a year, even as exports to US plunge 34.5%. The disconnect underscores how tariff volatility and weak global demand are reshaping the balance of trade and sending fresh shockwaves through global supply chains. $103 billion surplus, 34% down on exports to US. Money move of the day. There's so much in the newsletter. So high returns often come with hidden overlap. Remember, tech and crypto tend to move together, especially during macro shocks. Blending in assets that behave differently, like gold, treasuries, or international stocks, can reduce downside risk without capping potential. Make sure to consider having a diversified portfolio. I will come back to the newsletter if we have time. If not, please do consider signing up to the newsletter. There's a free version where you get most of the news. There is a annual plan. It's the cheapest that Substack, I think, allows. Actually, no, I think the cheapest is about $100. I think ours is $120 a year, $10 a month, and you get all the news better than anywhere else you look. I mean, it takes hours and hours of research in the morning, and I think everyone should be signed up for it. There is a link in the chat. What we're looking at now is GODB's request about about Circle, CRCL, which also we had the deep dive. We had it as a story in the newsletter before its IPO. We had it after its IPO, and it's up 20% pre-market. Oh my god! Let me bring up the newsletter on that as well. Actually, no, we don't need to. You can always go back and read it. Just my thoughts on it. Would I be buying it? No, not at these levels. I mean, it's valued at over 20 billion. Yeah, 23 billion now. It's just gone up. You always see volatility on IPOs. I always say you're probably going to see that upside, then a dump occur later on. Can this go higher? Yes, it can. Is a $23 billion valuation fair? It's a little bit overvalued. Is it fair? Yeah, we've seen lots of things be valued much more than they should be. So it's up another 20% pre-market. It's at $126. Did I think it would go up this much? Not really. Would I be buying it at these levels? Not really. Is that financial advice? No. I mean, it's great to see. I mean, it's a complete shift I mean, it's a monumental moment having another crypto company IPOing like this, such a successful IPO. You've got a $23 billion market cap. Compare that to another crypto company, Coinbase, who's been trading for years and years. It's got $64 billion market cap, and obviously Coinbase is a much bigger company. So you can see that this valuation is maybe like a third of Coinbase's. Is it a third of the product? Maybe. I don't have enough data in a chart perspective to have a look at Circle and say what's going on. My own thoughts are it can definitely go higher. What's the cap? Maybe $200 for now, maximum cap. What can it go down to? Well, it was supposed to IPO around $31 a share, and that's when most people got in. We got it in the newsletter. People went into Robinhood. They bought it for $31. I think Eddie Puckett shared in the Discord. He bought it for $31. That was what they thought they would IPO at. That's what they thought the value was. It was actually $28 before the IPO. Now it's at $126. I don't think anyone will be buying, and some early investors will definitely start selling. So volatility is ahead. Can it go higher? Yes. Would I be buying it now? No. What's a fair value to buy it? Maybe below $70, maybe as well. I'll start getting interested. Not enough data for me to do any chart analysis. The trend is towards the upside. Don't fight the trend. The trend has been up. It's probably going to continue to have some hype from people. BlackRock have invested in this pre-IPO and stuff like that. So if you want more information, you can go to the newsletter and just see what it's all about. Circle, stablecoin issuing company, performing very well, up 20% pre-market. I can't really share any more information than that. I don't have any technical analysis. Let's see if I've got the newsletter from last week. Which one was it in? Circle's IPO. So that's from last week. If you saw the newsletter, you would have known it's starting at $31 a share. You'd have looked into it and possibly invested in it.
Matthias donated 59 Norwegian kroner through a super chat. Can we take a look at UNH, United Health? Praying gesture emoji.
Thank you, Matthias. A big support of the channel. Can we look at UNH? Of course we can. Let me just finish up with this IPO, Circle IPO. So yeah, we brought the news. It was on the newsletter. $31 a share. You would have looked into it. You could have added it in. It's above the anticipated range of $27 to $28. The news we told you the news about Brad Garlinghouse buying it for $45 billion actually turned out to be fake news, and he denied that. So Circle's IPO is a significant milestone for the crypto industry, signaling growing institutional acceptance of stablecoins and blockchain-based financial infrastructure. As Circles enters the public market, its performance could influence investors' sentiment towards other crypto-related companies and the broader digital asset system. It was a massive IPO. It was very important. It started at $31. Would I buy it now? No. But do your research. Is it a good long-term play? Probably. Circle's going to be the main stablecoin issuer out there. Is there competition? Yes, there is. So the risk to reward for me at these levels is not right, but you do your own research. Let me go over to the next request, and then we're going to be going over to Martyn in 2 minutes or whenever we get the link, which will be any second now. Let me have a look and see if it's already there. Let's link them together. No, not there, but I'm sure it'll be going live any second now. So let me just check communications, make sure I haven't missed anything. I don't think I've missed anything. Let me just double check. I just want to make sure we're ready for the opening bell show. No, I think we're all good. So that's going to be coming out very shortly. The request was from Matthias UNH. UNH. UNH is holding support, $280. There it is. That's the level we've been put in place. That's the level you're basically at. $280 is what you hit and what you're trying to rebound from. The trend, unfortunately, is towards the downside. So do bear in mind it can go lower. $180. I'll definitely keep some money on the side for. But you've hit the horizontal support. There's no need to look at anything else. Big uptrend. Bad news, obviously, and then you've hit the target of the 2020 highs. And then you've also got the target of the 2020 lows. So keep in mind, $284, $188. This can be a signal of a reversal at these levels. It is strong horizontal support. People would definitely be looking to buy this. It is obviously a big company, $275 billion market cap. I mean, it's obviously a massive company. United Health Group Incorporated. There was obviously some terrible data that came out for this. But a company like this normally doesn't go anywhere. Engage in provision of healthcare coverage, software, and data consultancy services. What was this news? It was earnings, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Matthias, do you have the reason why it's Matthias, do you have the reason why there was a crash like this? It has a dividend. It has a nice dividend, I think. Let's see what's the dividend rate. 3%, not bad. Oh, we've got Martyn's link. Perfect. So yeah, Matthias, I don't know why it dropped that much, but if the fundamentals haven't really changed that much, if they're as good as they were in 2020, these levels look very, very, um, even for a short-term bounce. I mean, even for a short-term bounce coming in, buying it, something that you can hold long-term, or you want to sell it at a short-term bounce, coming up to $436, $390 is very, very plausible after a big move down like that. So the way I look at these stocks like this, massive company, not really going anywhere. Massive. It is the most oversold it's been since 2008. It's at horizontal level of support. Great, I'll buy it. Worst case scenario, I'll hold it long term. It should stay around. It's a massive company, and if the opportunity comes where it pops up 50% in a month, well, that's a great short term return. I can sell it as well. Also, if it goes lower, I've got money to buy it back down at $188. Again, I'm happy to hold it long term or flip it for a short term profit if it does occur. So it's still looking good. $283 was still the target. It's just slightly above that. You're basically at that level, and it looks like you're holding that quite strongly. So what we're going to do: earnings, CEO resignation, Medicare policy. Okay, Matthias. There we go. That's the reasons. But yeah, I wouldn't say this massive company is going to go anywhere. And even if there isn't a Even if it doesn't go back to those highs, there's a good chance that you at least get a good rebound from these levels. Again, not financial advice. Do you think the SEC will approve the XRP spot ETF on June the 17th? The answers are yes, 60%, likely delay 26%, not sure 12%. We will see. We'll cover the news. Um, Martyn sent me from Twitter for Coinbase ZBEC ETF news. Yes, so if you go back to the beginning of the show, you just scroll back and you can go to the beginning. We discussed all about the XRP ETF, and we talked about ZBCN holding that level of support. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for someone just said good morning, so that's why I said good morning. Thank you, everyone, for the EVTL market. I've done it again, haven't I? I've completely forgot about the EVTOL market. I'll do a special show. I'm going to do a special show dedicated to the EVTOL market later today. That's what I will do. A special show. So keep an eye out. Later today, I'll do a special show dedicated to the EVTOL market. We were supposed to talk about it today. Again, the news got ahead of me. So much going on. We will do an EVTOL special later today. We'll do a quick video on the EVTOLs and it will come out later today. Let me see. We've got Martyn's link here. Let's click on that. What's coming up in a couple minutes. Martyn is starting in 1 minute and 33 seconds. So let's get ready to wrap up the show and send you straight to Martyn. Let me just quickly check the FTOL market just so I can tell you what's happening later. Yeah, you've got it's in the newsletter as well. If you go and read the newsletter, you know why. Archer's up 12%, Joby's up 10%, Wraps up 7%, Rocket Labs up 5%. I'll come back later with an EVTL stock special. Maybe I'll even get Vaz on the show. That'll be we'll get Vaz on the show as well. I think we've got Martyn calling in. Let me go to guest one. There we go. Let me add Martyn to guest one, and there we go. Thank you, Martyn, for calling in.
Good morning, Sensei. Great show as always. Thanks for bringing us that news for XRP ETF and the ZBEC news as well with Coinbase. Do you have more time to carry on, Sensei, this morning or not?
I have to go for lunch, but I can carry on for a bit longer. What are we thinking?
If you wanted to do those videos, because I know there are people waiting for them, and we promised them this morning. I know these things sometimes get ahead of us. If you want to do those first, I can go in 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes you to do them. If you've got time, if not, that's fair enough. I understand. What would you like to do?
I think what will be best is maybe I get Vaz on later and I do that show with him. Just because I know I've let people down yesterday by not doing it. Maybe I make it a bigger thing and we look at all those EVTOLs. I do the charts live with Vaz as an event later today. I'll speak to Vaz behind the scenes and do a proper deep dive into these three stocks.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what in that case, then, if you've just got 5 minutes, what I'd like you to do is an extra 5 minutes, because I've sent some people from X who wanted to know about the ZBEC deal with Coinbase buying ZBEC and the headlines with XRP as well on the ETF. So if you could spend the next 5 minutes just doing that as they've come across, it would be wonderful if you could take care of those guests as well. Is that all right?
Yes, of course. I've seen them pop in. Wonderful. So yeah, we'll talk. We'll reiterate some news and go back onto the XRP ETF news and ZBCN. I'd love to do that.
Great, fantastic, Sensei. I'll let you go. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Martyn. Thank you for calling in. So we've got some people from X coming in, and we want to let me know if you've come in from X. What we'll do is go back on the story of XRP and ZBCN, get you prepared for the day and the week ahead. For the EVTOL fans, and I'm sure there's a lot of you guys right now, I'm going to talk to Vaz behind the scenes and see if we can set up an event together later. I'll message him straight after the show. I know he's at work. Maybe as soon as he comes back from work, we can do a special show for you guys about the EVTOL space, because obviously Archer's up 12%, Joby's up 10%, Rocket Lab's up 5%. What's Vertical doing today? Vertical is also up 10%. So yeah, it's a massive day. Something we've been saying for a while. That's why Vaz has been great on the show. It's such an evolving, fast evolving technology, and we want to do a special show. So make sure you've subscribed, you've got a notification bell turned on. We'll do a special show for you guys later. for the EVTOLs. If you've never looked into EVTOLs, we'll go from step one, and then we'll look at all the stocks as well. It's a technology. It's something you want to be aware of. For everyone that's coming through X, you can't see the tick on the top left, but you can see it down here. You can see what we're looking at down here. You can see the price. You can see the pre-market. You can see the name of the company. So even if you can't see it top left, you'll be able to see it over here. Ron David. Okay, Jesse's from X. Okay, so XRP news. The XRP news. It was in our morning show notes newsletter. You can watch it. You can subscribe to it. I'll give you the link as well. If you're watching, definitely make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. Here is the link. And in that newsletter, we've got a very important story for this week and next week. It is the XRP ETF. The XRP ETF is coming soon. In my opinion, second half of this year, we will get the XRP ETF approved. However, it does look like we've got a date in mind. Two things. I'll read this again because if you've missed it, this is something important as well. So, investor momentum around US listed XRP spot ETF is accelerating. The SEC's recent approval of the Nasdaq Crypto US Settlement Price Index has put XRP into the same regulatory grade price benchmark as Bitcoin and Ethereum. That inclusion is no small feat. It signals that XRP now meets institutional standards for US crypto financial products. The NCISU, a closing price benchmark calculated by the Nasdaq, covers now 6 tokens: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, ADA. XRP is now in the same class as Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's been added to this. That needs SEC approval. The SEC have approved that to happen. That adds confidence into XRP and these other top altcoins, the Mag 7 of the crypto market, if you want to call it that, the top coins in the cryptocurrency market, all US technologies apart from maybe Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, but and there you go. So that is the first thing. Then on top of that, that shows that the SEC are looking into XRP. They're happy with what XRP is. We've now got Franklin Templeton, a massive asset manager. Application hits an SEC milestone on this June the 17th. So June the 17th, the SEC has to respond and say if they approve, delay, or deny XRP's spot ETF. And that is a deadline. So June the 17th, we're going to keep all eyes on the lookout for what happens there on June the 17th. Are they going to accept it, deny it, or delay it? So we've got the betting markets saying that there's an over 83% chance that it's going to be approved this year. I think there's about a 90% chance the ETF gets approved this year, and we have got eyes on June the 17th for the XRP ETF. Speaking about ZBCN, we've got good news about Coinbase that we explored in the newsletter last week. Why it doesn't seem too far-fetched to say a Coinbase listing is coming soon. And the details are in a video. If you type in Coinbase ZBCN, it'll probably be me and Martyn's channel that comes up on YouTube, and then you can see the Coinbase news all in that video. What we've been exploring today on ZBCN is the fact that yes, you are a little bit bearish. You are below the support of 0.0047. You have tried to get above it and failed. You are in a short-term downtrend now. However, that you do have a silver lining. You've got a level of support. You haven't broken down below 0.0042. You've got upwards sloping trend line that's going up from May the 27th higher low, on June the 15th higher low, on June the 6th higher low, on 8th of June. So you do have this underlying support, and as long as that doesn't break, you will have another shot at breaking 0.0047, 0.0053, and then all-time highs. So I'm keeping an eye on these levels of support for ZBCN. It does look like buyers are coming in and they're buying up at these lower prices. So we are keeping an eye on ZBCN. Any technical updates, fundamental updates, we'll bring it to you live on the show. So make sure you've subscribed and hit the like button. There was something else I want to say about this. ZBC, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but so about all of this, it all sort of also relies on the broader markets, and that's why we cover all the news. I mean, today the S&P 500 could break out into all-time highs depending on how the deal goes. So it all stems from the global markets, the global news, how that affects the stock market. Then that feeds into Bitcoin, and that feeds into XRP, that feeds into ZBCN, and they all have their little quirks as well. ZBCN will go on a run when everyone discovers about it. XRP will go on a run, and Bitcoin won't when XRP's ETF gets approved. So the general trend is there. That's why we have to follow all the news from the Fed decisions, from the CPI data, from the bond markets to the Bitcoin market to the individual news, and that's what we do all throughout the show every single day. So make sure you're subscribed and you tune in for all of that. Go back to the beginning of the show if you want to hear some more about the XRP ETF approval. Go and type in Coinbase ZBCN Martyn Lucas Investor if you want to hear about the Coinbase news, and stay with us throughout the day, throughout the week, and we'll bring you all the live news, unlike any other channel where they just do they're promoting all random things. We're only here to serve our members and community. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to send you over to Martyn. The link is pinned up here. You can click on that, it'll take it straight there. If you do stick around, it will automatically take you there as well. I'm going to send you straight over to Martyn, and I want everyone to do the thing that we love to do. Everyone click on this link, or on the link, you go straight to Martyn's next video. In the next couple minutes, he's going live. As soon as you get there, start spamming, and I'm allowing you to spam. The first people that spam will get the #1 badge. Go and spam Sensei sent me, Sensei sent me, Sensei sent me. Everyone go into Martyn's live stream that's starting any second now and type in on the comments, Sensei sent me. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Look at the time now, go back an hour, and I'm live at that hour every single morning. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll be back with an Avatar special later.